Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to our new video. I am Kobe, and today we're going to be talking about the negative effects complete and total self-isolation can have on you.
Welcome to our channel. We are the Christ fam. Well, I mean, you're also part of the Christ fam, but, whatever. This is at least the Christ fam YouTube channel hosted by none other than us. So, let's get started.
Now before we get started, if you'll go ahead and click on that subscribe button and click the bell so you can get notified whenever we release some more amazing videos. As you guys know, we're going through a really kind of difficult time in our lives with COVID-19. We're being asked to self-isolate, to social distance ourselves in public. We're asked to wear protective gear like face masks and stuff like that. What we're going to be talking about today is the negative effects of total and complete self-isolation to help encourage you guys to try and get out there and talk to others. So that you guys aren't just cooped up in your house all day long doing nothing, because that can actually be kind of harmful for you. I posted a video not too long ago, right there, on some things you can do in self-isolation. Now, what we're talking about is complete self-isolation, not having contact with anybody and being by yourself. That is a harmful thing. Now, we know that complete and total self-isolation can have an effect on you with your stress. It doesn't necessarily help you cope with all that stress and process it. So you get stressed a lot easier, and your stress tends to build and build and build, and there's so many things that can happen from just an increase of stress. I know me, I kind of lose sleep when I am really stressful. I get headaches and I can't necessarily think straight. So not only is it hurting me physically, it's also hurting me mentally. According to APA.org, social isolation can be linked to adverse health consequences including depression, poor sleep quality, and impaired immunity. So depression, that's a huge thing. I know being here in Qatar, I'm away from friends and family, so there's times when I would get a little sad, but I can't imagine, being away, not having contact, and completely self-isolating away from the world. You don't have that contact, and that can lead to a lot of depression, which is very dangerous. We've seen that time and time again. Depression is a very serious thing, and it's not, something you want to obviously go through. It can lead to poor sleep. Just like the stress levels that build, it also affects your sleep schedule, which I love my sleep. So if my sleep is interrupted or I get poor sleep, I know I'm grumpy. So these guys, Mr. Simon, Mr. Joshua, and Lucas decided to wake me up, which I'm not at all upset at, and decided to come in and surprise me, and it's awesome. And I'm, that fuse that I have, to where I get angry, is like so small, so small. It also affects your immunity and how well your body is able to treat illnesses. In 2019, a study led by Cassandra Alcaraz, I really hope I'm saying that right, a public health researcher with the American Cancer Society, analyzed data from more than 580,000 adults and found that isolation increases the risk of premature death from every cause. So she analyzed data from over 580,000 people, and their immunity went down, and the risk of premature death rose in everybody, because you're away. God calls us to community. And I think that's the biggest thing here. We are able to self-isolate, and there's nothing wrong with that, but we are social creatures. We're built for community. God calls us to community. Proverbs 27:17, even just a verse that is used by my men's group back at Frontline Community Church. Got you guys. It says, iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another. So if you have a blade and you're trying to cut, let's say, a steak, and that knife is dull, you're not going to be cutting that steak very well. But if you're cutting, no, that's embedded. So if you have a sword, right, those knights back in the day, and it's a very dull sword, you're not going to be able to attack things very well. You're not at all. But if it's a sharp sword, you're going to be able to fight longer, fight better, and it's going to be a very good, diverse weapon. And that's awesome. That's what you need. That's what the Bible calls. there's a verse in Ecclesiastes 4, 9 through 12 that I'll read real quick out of my handy dandy Bible. It says, what gain... Whoa, I'm reading the wrong verse. Sorry, chapter 4, not 3.
Do you have magic hair?
No!
Magic hands?
No!
Do animals talk to you?
No!
Cursed?
No!
Kidnapped or enslaved?
No! So, Ecclesiastes 4, 9 through 12. It says, two are better than one, because they have a good reward for their toil. For if they fall, one will lift up his fellow. But woe to him who is alone when he falls, and has not another to lift him up. Again, if two lie together, they keep warm. But how can one keep warm alone? And although a man might prevail against one who is alone, two will withstand him. A threefold cord is not quickly broken. So guys, it calls us, to be in community, to have those strengths and those bonds and those connections with people around us. It is so vitally important. Now with this social isolation, yes, be isolated in your house, be with family, or even if you're like me, by myself, but don't cut off the rest of the world. Reach out to people, reach out to friends and family. If you need to FaceTime them, do that. Go out on a run, go outside, because you do that, I guarantee you'll see others out there. And that's what you need to do. You need to at least, you got to try to get back in this normality, in some sort of normality, for not only your physical health and your spiritual health, all of it. It helps so much. So my encouragement to you guys is that it's super important, yes, to be self-isolating, to be taking these precautions seriously, to do all what we're being told to do, because God has put these people over us for a reason, but also do it in a way to where you're not completely separating yourself from the whole world. Do it in a way to reach out, where you can reach out to friends and family, where they can reach out to you, where you guys can sharpen one another, and you guys can be that stone for one another. When one person's struggling in stress or one person's struggling in depression, you are there to help them, and vice versa, they're there to help you. I hope this has brought you guys some encouragement. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this. If you again, go ahead and subscribe, and go ahead and click that bell and give us a like. It'd be greatly appreciated. We love you guys, and we'll talk to you soon. See ya.